गणानाम गणपति गणेश लंबोदर सो है भुजाचार एक दंत चंद्रमा ललाट राजे ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश ताल है धुरपद गावे अति विचित्र गणनाथ आज मृदंग बजावे। अभी भी थोड़ा ऊंचा है, थोड़ा जोर से हम इसको स्ट्राइक करेंगे। अब हुआ है बराबर। ये 19-20 का फर्क है, ये उन्हीं को समझ में आता है जो तबला सालों से बजा रहे हैं। Tabla means drum in Arabic, right? The word tabla means drum. इसको आपको ऐसे प्लेस करना है यहाँ पे। अभी इस स्ट्राइक को अचीव करने में लोगों के 3 से 4 महीने चले जाते हैं, मेरे 6 महीने चले गए। If I'm going to play with a lot of aggression, right? Hi, my name is Nikhil and I'm commonly known as the Tabla Guy. You're watching me on Mashable Todd-Fodd. Tabla, as they say, was an evolution from Pakhavaj, right? Pakhavaj is an instrument like this, right? तो उसको 2 हिस्से में बांट कर उसको ऐसा रखा गया, and it was thought of this way कि उसका आवाज कैसे आएगा? What would be the sound if it was separated from each other? And that's how the tabla came in. Right. There are many other stories as well to this. You know, some people say there's a Persian influence, and tabl means drum in Arabic, right? The word tabl means drum. So somehow they say that there's an influence when there was a Mughal Empire in India. During that time, you know, tabla was introduced in a different form. So there are many stories to this. Many big maestros have contributed to this beautiful instrument, due to which here today, in this era as well, tabla is a leading instrument. It is just not the people of my age who are doing this. There are people who are younger than me who have also taken up. The young kids also are still taking it up, and I'm sure that, you know, it's going to go generations hereafter. It starts with this black patch, which is called the Shahi, which means ink in Hindi, right? This is called the Maidan, where we usually strike, right? And this is called the Kinar, right? And this is the Kajra, right? These are called the Gatthe. Have these little, you know, wooden pegs. These are called Gatthe. This is called the Tasma. This is the rope kind of a structure which is called the Tasma, right? And it is all stretched down upon and stitched, and you know, it's say stitched or it is tied, and you know, that's how the tone comes out on this membrane. This is called the Chanti, and this is called the Baya, right? Or Daya and Baya. There are many words to it, right? I am a right-handed fella, so I play like this. For the people who are left-handed, they might put the Chati on the left and the Dagga on the right. Very rare to find that, but it happens, yes, people do that. So yeah, same applies with the Dagga as well. It is the same, all the structure is the same on the Dagga as well. Here also, we do put the pegs, we do put the Gatthe, but it is very selective. It depends, you know, if the membrane goes a little dull, we put the pegs inside and we pull it down. So this pegs that we've put here is actually to do with the tuning of a certain tabla, right? Now, this particular chanti is in the scale A sharp, which is Kali Panch. हिंदी में हम उसको काली पांच बोलते हैं. जितना इस चांटी का चेहरा बड़ा होगा, उतना ही उसका ढाला सुर होगा, the lower octave, right? And the smaller the face of the tabla, higher the pitch. Basically, if you want a warm tone to your chanti or to your daya, then you can go with the size which I have right now, which is about 5.5 inches, right? For some people, they like, you know, the smaller sizes, having a little more higher pitch. Usually in Bollywood songs and all that, it is played, so they use that in that. And to do with the Dagga, when it comes to putting the pegs, it again just tightens the membrane, you know, to adjust the tone. This is the bass. This is the bass drum. This is the tonal one, and this is the bass drum. So the bass also needs to be adjusted according to how a person likes it. I like it a little tighter. Right now I have not put it because, you know, it's already. So एक हमारे पास एक procedure होता है जिसको बोलते हैं खिच्ची. जब आप खींचते हो तो इसका membrane tight हो जाता है. ठीक है, तो वो ऑलरेडी इसमें आज 2-3 दिन पहले लगी हुई है इसमें खिंची, इसलिए फिर मैंने डाला नहीं है. आप जितना अगर डाल के और खींचोगे तो ये फटने के चांसेस हैं. सेम इज द केस विद दिस ऑल्सो. आप अगर बहुत ज्यादा इसको आप एक साल के तौर पे, अभी ये काली पांच में है, जैसे मैंने कहा कि ये ए शार्प में है, आप इसको और ज्यादा ट्यून करोगे और ज्यादा हाई पिच करने जाओगे, इसके फटने के चांसेस हो जाते हैं. सो व्हेन यू स्टार्ट लर्निंग तबला, द फर्स्ट thing that your guru teaches you is the rakhat, रखने का जो ढंग होता है उसको हम बोलते हैं रखत। चाटी पे या दाएं पे आपको हाथ इस तरह से रखना है। ये जो आपकी 2 उंगलियां हैं इसको आपको ऐसे प्लेस करना है यहाँ पे, और आपके इंडेक्स फिंगर से आप स्ट्राइक कर सकते हैं। अभी इस स्ट्राइक को अचीव करने में लोगों के 3 से 4 महीने चले जाते हैं, मेरे 6 महीने चले गए थे, जस्ट टू टेक आउट दिस टोन द राइट वे। क्योंकि क्या होता है, हमारी उंगलियों को ये आदत नहीं होती कि हम ऐसे किसी पोजीशन में इसको रखें और ऐसा कोई टोन कहीं से हम निकालें। मसल मेमोरी है ही नहीं उस चीज की आपको। सो दिस इज द पोजीशन ऑफ द चाटी, राइट। एंड वेरी फनीली ऑन द डग्गा और ऑन द बेस ड्रम मेरे गुरुजी ने मुझे बोला था कि बेटा हाथ ऐसे सांप के जैसे बनाना। तो मैंने बना दिया, और फिर बोले कि शाही के थोड़े पीछे रखना, तो मैंने रख दिया। And then he asked me to strike it with my ring and middle finger. So I did. Just to make it easy, that's what my guru did for me. कि सांप के आकार का आप जो है हाथ बनाओ और इससे आप strike करो। The first syllable or the first notation that he ever taught me was a na on chati, on the daya, which is na, na, or we can also call it ta, ta. Then with the bass drum or with the baya, we can say ge or ghe. This is ge. This is ghe. Together with na or ta and ge or ghe becomes dha. That's how it is, right? So, and the next one is on the shahi, right? Which is tin, na, tin, right? So it is like the na is like the male and tin is like the female, right? That's how it is. And then when you put these two together, it becomes dhin, has that bass, dhin, or tin again can be played in a different fashion, can be like tin, tin, the female version. Teen Taal is basically a 16 beat cycle which goes like dha, dhin, dhin, dha, dha, dhin, dhin, dha, dha, tin, tin, ta, ta, dhin, dhin, dha. Let me play it for you, right? If you see, there is always a certain balance between the syllables which have to be maintained in order to make sure that a certain emotion out of that rhythm is coming to you, right? I can just say dha, din, din, da, da, din, din. It's not going to have that, that X factor to it, that flavor to it, right? If I'm going to say dha, din, din, dha, dha, din, it's like a rhyme. If singers, when they sing, they have so many emotions when they're singing, they're closing their eyes, they're moving their hands, doing all that, then why not the rhythm players? If I'm going to play with a lot of aggression, right? So, this is with a lot of aggression, right? And if I'm going to play it a little less aggressive, yet a little more melodic. So let me start with Teen Taal, okay? So Teen Taal is actually the very basic Taal which is, taught by any guru in the very beginning, right? But what is very beautiful about it is that, it is used worldwide in almost all the genres, or say in Bollywood specifically, for little semi-classical songs. For example, Mere Dholna. In the end, when there is a tarana happening or whatever, so they have like a proper teen taal going on. Na din din na din din na din din na din din na. That's how it's going. So semi-classical-ish songs, teen taal is used, right? Coming down to the next taal is a Keherwa, which is again a 8-beat cycle, similar to as what it is like in teen taal. That is 16. This is 8. Just the multiple, right? Now, Keherwa is what is used usually in qawwalis, in Sufi approaches for a song, or say any upbeat song, filmy, proper filmy संगीत जो होता है ना, बॉलीवुड का फिल्मी संगीत, उसके लिए झुमका गिरा रहे, वो कहरवा ही है सारा उसमें. Next is Dadra. Dadra is again a very playful, very light music kind of a thing. Dha dhi na dha di na dha di na dha di na. Now how people play in Bollywood is so these patterns you also must have heard in so many of the songs, right? It's just that what happens is tabla is something which has been a major instrument for so many years in Bollywood songs, but people come to terms with it only after somebody talks about it. When it comes to playing tabla, right, there's another thing which is absolutely important, your body posture. So when you're seated, हम इसको आल्टक पाल्टक में बैठना बोलते हैं हिंदी में, है ना? तो हम जब ऐसे बैठे होते हैं तो आपका जो back है has to be straight. Because what happens is, when you're performing a concert or when you are at a studio, you have to sit for a number of hours. Like I remember sitting for 6 hours together at a studio when I was performing, when I was playing, I was recording something at a studio, right? Many a times, many gurus, what they teach is how to sit. पहले बैठ के देख लो कि इतनी देर तुमको बैठने हो रहा है या नहीं हो रहा है. उसके बाद तुम सांस को हाथ लगाओ. In a way, my teacher also taught me this. I've seen so many other gurus also teach their students this thing, right? And the posture. The more you go like this, the more you're going to get tired faster. The more you're like this, you're going to be agile, you're going to be at it always. So let's talk about theka, right? So theka is basically nothing but the beat cycle that or anybody is playing, right? Like a teen taal. It's 16 beats, 16 मात्रा बोलते हैं, ठीक है? तो उस 16 मात्रे को हम ठेका ही बोलेंगे. धा दिन दिन दा, धा दिन दिन दा, धा दिन दिन दा, धा दिन दिन दा, धा दिन दिन दा. ये ठेका हो गया आपका, ठीक है? अब इसमें आप इम्प्रोवाइज करोगे तो उसका इम्प्रोवाइजिंग भी हो जाएगा. आप हमेशा थोड़ी ना एक चीज बजाते रहोगे. वही आप अगर बजाते रहोगे आप बोर हो जाओगे. बहुत बार लोग क्लासिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स के बारे में या क्लासिकल म्यूजिक के बारे में ये सोचते हैं कि क्या वही बजा रहे हो. नाउ यू लिसन टू इट एंड टेल मी इफ इट इज साउंडिंग सिमिलर, ओके? Lot of variations, right? It depends on how much you've learned, how much you've heard, and none of it will sound similar. If you come tomorrow, if you come a month after also, I will try to make sure that I will not sound similar. That's what my guru has taught me. So I'll show you a few variations in Keherwa as well, right? So the basic taal is dha ge nati na ka dhina, right? This is your basic taal. Now, again, many variations, more improvising, right? So every taal or every theka, you have some or the other thing to improvise in. Now let's go Madhya Laya. Double. I can go 4 speed also. I can probably go 8 speed also. It just depends on how much of a riyaz you have, or it depends on, you know, how much you have practiced that certain taal. Some gurus do not let you move from a taal for 2 years straight. They will teach you a single taal for 2 years. They will make sure that you've got the grip of it, you've got the grip of every single thing that is to do with that taal, and then they will put it to the next one. So this is the hammer, which is the tuning hammer for tabla, right? It looks like a weapon, but it's not, okay? Because, you know, it's got this very sharp and a blunt side, right? So the sharp side usually is used to put down, या फिर आप उसको एक certain direction में नीचे मार के आप इसको इस pegs को आप नीचे कर सकते हो. But it is done with your left hand if you're a righty. If I'm playing with my right, then I'm going to do it with my left. And this plain part, right, the blunt part is used to tune on the kajra as well. So the tuning happens in 2 styles. One is from here on the kajra, and the second one is from the gathe or the pegs, right? Major tuning happens from the gathe, and the fine tuning happens from the kajra. Sometimes it works the other way around as well. Sometimes, okay. It's a very funny instrument. It has its own mood, as I mentioned earlier, okay. So it depends, right? And now what I'm playing, ये है काली पांच में, which is your A sharp, ठीक है. थोड़ा सा 19-20 है, थोड़ा चढ़ा हुआ है. तो जब चढ़ा हुआ होता है ना, तो आपको नीचे से स्ट्राइक करना है ताकि उसका सुर उतरे थोड़ा सा. So मैं अब इसको ऐसे करके दिखाता हूँ आपको. अभी भी थोड़ा ऊंचा है, थोड़ा जोर से हम इसको स्ट्राइक करेंगे. अब हुआ है बराबर. ये 19-20 का फर्क है. ये उन्हीं को समझ में आता है जो तबला सालों से बजा रहे हैं, ठीक है ना. तो या जिसका कान बहुत सुरीला है, somebody who understands the tone or the sur properly, उसको वो कहीं अगर भाग भी रहा होगा और कहीं अगर तबला बज रहा है और अगर अच्छी तरीके से मिला हुआ अगर नहीं है तबला, तो वो तभी भी बता सकता है. वो कान के ऊपर है आपके. Your ears have to be trained. To talk about fusion, fusion is a confusion which sounds good to the ears. Fusion is something where you fuse your instrument or your singing or whatever with some other melody, okay, or other instrument in the right form, in the right way. You cannot overlap. If you're overlapping also, it needs to sound right. Okay, what is music at the end of the day? Something that is good to your ears, right? That's how the fusion also has to be. So when you play fusion, I can't be seated like this. I need my freedom, all right? So I'm going to change the setting a little bit for you and I'm going to perform something. गणानाम गणपति गणेश लंबोदर सो है भुजाचार एक दंत चंद्रमा ललाट राजे ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश ताल दय धुर पद गावे अति विचित्र गणनाथ आज मृदंग बजावे धड़ धराड़ धर धर कृध्यान दिन 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 नागे 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 धन दिन दिन ताके नाना तादृगन दृग दृग दिन 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 नागे नागे ता कृध्यान कृत धरा तरान दा कृत धरान तरान दा कृत धरान तरान धा.